Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Let's talk about the books that I read in June. I had a pretty busy month in June. I didn't really read a whole lot and I just focused on work. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ended up reading 5 books total and I DNF'd 1 book. The first book that I did read was The Great Believers, and that was in my reading your 5-star reads or your book recommendations video, and I really love this book. It was definitely very hard-hitting, definitely really tough, emotional. You know, overall, I think I gave it like a 4.5 star. I overall did really enjoy that book. It was just very sad for me, and if you don't know anything about the book, it's basically a story that's following a group of gay men and a woman as well, and kind of going back and forth in timelines, following their struggles through the AIDS epidemic. Yeah, there was just a lot of trauma, a lot of loss, a lot of just like emotional hardships, and you get to see their bond and their friendship, how much of a toll that took on the community. And I definitely would highly recommend that, especially as somebody who's not super well versed in like the AIDS epidemic or anything like that. Like, I just don't have a lot of education on that. It was definitely really eye-opening and definitely prodded a lot of really good conversations after I finished that book. So I would highly recommend that. Also, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I got to read that in June, which is Pride Month. So that was probably the best case scenario. So I started the month reading The Great Believers, and then I went ahead and picked up Yesteryear, and it's so hard to like describe this book. I did film a reading vlog while I was reading this. I think I had some good thoughts and stuff in that vlog. The whole time I was just like, what's going on? What's happening? What's real? What's not real? This girl is crazy. Like, it just took you in so many different directions and definitely took me for a roller coaster. By the end of it, I had no idea what I just read. And it truly left me in kind of like, I wouldn't even call it a reading slump because I wanted to read still. I just had no idea what I wanted to read. I ended up picking up a book and DNFing it, which we'll talk about that next. And I just couldn't really, my mind was just kind of like all over the place. I think that's what the point of this book, like I think that's what this book is supposed to do, is like make you think and contemplate and be like, what the heck is society and culture and online culture and just all of the problems and stuff with the negative side of social media. And yeah, it was definitely very thought-provoking and truly actually put me on like a, not boycott, but like I haven't been or posted on Instagram, which is really the only social media that I have besides YouTube. Like, I just have not really consumed much since reading this book, and I think it's just because this book kind of like put me off on it a little bit. And I don't think that's gonna be like a forever thing, but that's just kind of like how I felt after reading the book. So I definitely enjoyed my read. I think it just was very entertaining and was definitely a page turner and definitely made me need to know like what was going on and get to the end of the book. So I would highly recommend this for really anybody. I think it was really good and had a lot of like very interesting, unique aspects to it. And I have a feeling that books like this, including or like revolving around social media and online life and stuff, is going to probably become more popular as the years go on. Definitely a very interesting read and put me in a bit of a weird mood after that. I ended up picking up what I thought was going to be like a very solid read for me, something that was not going to be too hard to read, just your classic romantic-y, you know, smutty type of book that like was going to be easy to digest and just kind of get me back into it. And unfortunately, this did not really vibe with me. I don't think it was like really anything bad or like anything wrong with it. I just, one, think I was in a weird headspace, and then 2, just I think the writing style just wasn't really hitting for me. It kind of felt a little immature when it came to like the way the characters were talking to each other and stuff. It's kind of like the only thing that I can really pinpoint why I wasn't able to like finish this book. I don't think anything's bad about it. I don't think that the writer is like an awful writer or anything like that. I just don't think it was really vibing with me, on top of already where I was at like mindset wise. So I DNF'd this. I read about 100 pages, and you usually try and give 100 pages unless it's blatantly obvious I don't like the book. I usually try and give it a chance, at least 100 pages before I like truly DNF something. So that's unfortunate. I've been holding on to this book for a while, but I think I'm going to either bring this to Half Price Books or to like a free little library around me and then see if somebody else will enjoy it instead of me. After that, I think I picked up, actually I might have read this before Yesteryear, I can't really remember, but I did read The Penlopiad by Margaret Atwood. Just love Margaret Atwood's writing. Everybody knows already. She is just, gosh, so phenomenal, and like her ability to just keep you hooked the whole time, like the entire book. Whether or not it's really a subject that I care about or not, like I just want to keep reading because of just, I don't know, the way that her writing style just kind of like hooks you in. And I think I described it in my reading vlog as like, she writes in a way that makes you feel like she knows something that you don't know and you have to figure it out. Like, what is she saying? Like, what is she hinting at? I think that's what makes her writing style so special for me, at least. This is a Greek myth retelling. The Greek goddess Penelope, who is the wife to Odysseus. Basically, this is her retelling her side of the story of this like specific myth. It's definitely really interesting. If you liked Circe or like Song of Achilles or like books like that, I think you would definitely really enjoy this. I've had this book on my TBR for a while, so I'm really glad that I was able to finally read it and kind of like check it off the list. I still have The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, which is the only other book I have by her, so I think I need to read that first before I get into anything else. But I think Elias's Grace, I think is what it's called. I think that's the next book besides that I want to read by her. After I finished those books, I had like a week and a half of not reading, like straight just not reading at all, because I was just so busy and tired at work, and I was reading other things outside of like entertainment, like I was studying basically. And somewhere after that, I ended up picking up Clash of Kings, and I just was like feeling drawn to like reading this book already, and I just needed something really solid, something that I knew I was going to really love and be able to kind of like dive into without having to really try very hard. So this is the second book in the Game of Thrones series, and I'm slowly making my way through that series. I read and finished this in about a week, which is actually fairly impressive for me because this is a 1,000-page book. Usually 1,000 pages takes me like a couple weeks to finish, but I was able to actually read this pretty quickly. I'm just like really glad that I did, because it just brought me back into the world. And honestly, as soon as I finished this, I really wanted to jump into the third book like immediately, but I didn't have it yet. I went ahead and ordered it, so I do have it now, which is actually back there. She's a chunker, it's like 1,200 pages, but these books just like really suck you in, and like you just want to be in with these characters all the time. Like when I'm not reading this book, I'm thinking about this book. And that's what I love so much about these chunky, long, high stakes fantasy series. They just envelop you, and I just love that so much. So yeah, Clash of Kings, it's the second book in the series, so I can't really say too much about it, but you're basically just continuing on where you left off, following all of these different points of views and all of these puzzle pieces, and it's very political and schemy. And this one definitely did branch off a little bit more as far as like following along with the series, like the TV show, and you definitely get a lot more background and like a lot more details behind some of the things that happened in the show. So that was really nice. I really loved that aspect of it. So I will absolutely be continuing the series. And then something I'm very proud to finally say is that I finally picked up A Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. Now this book, I am going to finish it today. Today is actually June 31st or something. June 30th. There's not even 31 days in June. I'm going to finish this today, and I have like less than 100 pages, so that's what I actually plan on doing after I'm done filming this. And so this will be the last book that I read in June. And I had put this on my July TBR because I didn't think I was going to be able to get to it, but I finished Game of Thrones a little bit faster than I thought. So I started this, and I love this book. It had a little bit of a slower start for me. I think I just needed to really try hard. Like, this is a brain book. Like, this is not really a book that you can just read and not pay attention to the details and the characters' names and stuff. Like, you have to follow along, like, to be able to stay in the story and follow along the storyline and stuff without getting lost. So it took me probably about 150 pages to really start getting momentum in the story, and that has nothing to do with like the action, because there were already like 6 action fighting battle scenes by like 100 pages. And I love it when a book just starts and you're immediately thrown into all of the chaos. Like, I love books like that because it really keeps you going. It has not stopped. Like, I'm telling you, every chapter there's like a fighting scene, and I love it. I love it so much. It's just action-packed. It's entertaining. All of these characters are just like, there are a couple, like 2 female main characters. You're following different points of view. I probably should have said that first, but you're following like 3 to 4 different points of view. 2 of them are these like Viking warrior women who just are so cool. And like, I just would love to be them. And they're just badass, and they are just so cool. And then there's another point of view, which is a young boy. You're introduced to him as he's like running away from these captors. This is basically in a world where there was this ancient war between the gods, and the gods kind of like wiped each other out. Some of them went into hiding, and there are these creatures. They are like descendants of the gods. They have these magical powers or these gifts. It definitely is very interesting. It's unique, and like I haven't read anything like this, and it's inspired by like Norse mythology. It's definitely very interesting. There's like monsters and stuff too. It's very, very cool. So I'm having a fantastic time, and I am excited to jump into the next book. I don't know if I'm going to do that right away or not. I'm kind of like on the fence because there are so many books that I want to read right now, especially for my July TBR we just picked. So either way, I'm very happy that I finally picked this up. That is the last book that I read in June. Like I said, didn't really read as many books as I was planning on reading, but life happens. That's totally okay. I'm insanely excited to get to all the books that we picked in the July TBR. I'm really hoping that I can get to all of them. So keep your eyes open for the next wrap up in July. So I hope you guys have had a wonderful week and weekend, and thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video next Saturday. Bye guys.